nice water. That is fine in the industries, but how about agriculture? And when you talk about land, you know, where people are producing goods, I mean, it's really getting very difficult to get the work. So it's very important to have this in mind. Next. So we say, okay, if we are, I mean, I like always to be positive in my views. So we say, aha, what do? We know what is happening. Can we all keep all the time saying this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening? No. We have to go and say, hello, what do we do? We already have a fact, which took, I tell you, 20 years to people to accept that there was climate change. People did not believe in climate change for years. Some of them, a lot of them.
Some of them still don't.
Yeah, some of them. So we say, aha, we should generate friendlier systems for agriculture in the dry lands and elsewhere, and diversify agriculture. So I am always criticizing. I am from Venezuela, but our national dish is called pabellón. Meat came from Asia with the cows. Rice came from Asia. Beans came from Central America. And plantains came from Africa. So I said, aha, we have one of the mega diverse country because we happen to be in the middle of the tropics. And then we're eating, and then we dress the same as the people in the cold areas. So it's all a big problem here of not just thinking, okay, are we copying because it's in fashion, or are we just rethinking the whole thing? So we say, okay, we have to diversify, not just the products, but our thinking. And that took years. I tell you, before they thought I was doing gardens, there was a poetry of ecology. This is how it was called, to the mimicry of the ecosystems. So the next one. So, oh, you see? I know. It's okay. Skip this one. So this is what we're doing now, and I'll show you one of these. What do we decide? Okay, we're going to see how the system is working. Okay, so I noticed, aha, no one system in the tropics has one species, no one natural ecosystem. We are very complicated in structure of the forest, even in the dry forest, and also in the horizontal plane. Of course, if you have to do agriculture, you have to simplify. But what's the problem when you try to apply this model to get what you have up here in the erosion and destruction of the land and all of that? So we decided, first of all, I was working with aloe vera, who also came from Yemen. So still, I'm not doing anything good. So we then discovered, and this is the second story I will tell you, that we have a lot of other things there that we can use. Like prosopis, this tree that you have there is Prosopis uliflora. The pods are the main food for goats, and they are very, very nicely growing, the goats with these pods. So we say, aha, we share about 98% of the genes with the goats and 99% with the rats. So we better see if it's good for us. So we started to study this back in the 80s. And we made a flour out of the pods. And now it's called a protein bar. Okay? And this protein bar from Prosopis, we took Dr. Elbaz from BU and me, because we wanted everybody to look at the desert. The desert you don't destroy. The desert has a lot of things to offer. And we started to declare the decade of the 90s. It should be the decade of the desert. So they were saying that we carry this protein bar everywhere to show people what you could do. Today, Peru is exporting, is substituting soya milk with this Prosopis flour. Us in Venezuela, sorry. They didn't believe in this. Of course, it wasn't from us. We like all foreign things. So yesterday, I learned from Maria in Massachusetts University that Prosopis here is a solution, but in Ethiopia is a problem because it became wild. So what is this saying? Okay, so my solutions may not be your solution. You just have to be less lazy and more dedicated to find your own solutions. And that, I think, is the problem that the whole global big problems are, that everybody wants to do the same. Everybody wants to think the same. Everybody wants to dress the same. Everybody wants to eat the same. So this is never going to work. So the next one, we then decided, we cannot do this alone. We have to know how the community is going to take all of this. How do they do? How did they survive? People tend to think of, when you think of humans, think of cities. No. The cities are only humans, I would say. But then we went to see in the field what they were doing, and we were trying to find tools from within them. What are we doing? How did you survive this drought? Because not even, well, Omar has been there in the place that I'm talking about. There are not even cars. So they were like living with whatever they had around, and they had survived. Well, I met a guy that was 115 years old, and I said tell him, can you ask, can you give me your secret? He said, you never will get this. I said, why? Because we never eat. We only eat what we have here. We never go to the doctor, and we don't have stress. That's true. So everybody in every one country should be rescuing traditional knowledge. Right now, we gave prizes to 5 women in the developing world: Malaysia, Asia, Yemen, and other countries under the umbrella of Elsevier Foundation in the Triple Gas meeting, because they actually are rescuing medicine, traditional medicine, plants that are used in those places to cure people, and actually antibiotics are being fabricated from lichens, which are something that as biologists before we look up. It's not even a plant, but now we know that they are capturing CO2 a lot. The lichens are very important, and so we decided to start generating all of these ideas of new source, generate also new source of income, and then also another very important thing for our view, and this you have to agree that women have a little bit of another vision in science, that self-esteem of the communities, of the people, is what is going to bring this up. I mean, if we just start always saying the bad things and not the good things, then this is the next one. So we try to work very closely with these communities. I always say this, and I want you to have this in mind also. We have to respect their beliefs, not just to impose our beliefs. We also have to respect their spirituality. You know, all these wars around the world that have destroyed the world are about what? Idealism, religion, beliefs. It's crazy. People fight and they destroy things because they believe such and such or whatever. So I am always saying that we have to involve in science a lot of anthropologists and sociologists, which up to today have been like the side science. To obtain sustainable development, the only way we are going to do it is by, and mitigate all of this impact, is by combining the disciplines and interdisciplinary things. So this is why we said, but we need to do something that would be like a role model, set up a unit that will work, not like these gardens before, okay? And this is, the Agave program is the next, okay? This little town in Venezuela it was isolated for some years. For them, you will see in the next slides that agave is their life.
Agave.
I was really surprised because I thought Mexico is the agave country. Okay, next one. So we go to the other presentation that I have there. This is agave cocoon, an endemic species. And to me, I was working with aloe. You see, I was emulating the African whatever systems. And then, okay, then we discovered that these people, they all live out of agave. So I put the logos of all of these institutions there because this work could not have been done by one institution or with the one people. It's a big team, this one. And ancestral cultures of agave was a surprise to us and to the Mexicans. And because they say, no, agave is Mexico. Mexico is the tequila making, the mezcal making, the whatever they do. And so I say, no, Venezuela is actually, I brought something here. It's the cocuy making people. And it's like a tequila drink. But that was for them not to get drunk. For them was a way of living and the spirituality for the rituals and all of that. So of course, we have to